welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devin.
I am Dan.
And this week we're talking about Forbidden Kingdom and other movies.
The term you're looking for is martial art movies.
Thank you. Oh, it's already going well.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 2008. I don't know the name of the kid, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up because I know him from stuff.
Oh, really? I don't recognize him from other things. But of course, it's got Jackie Chan and Jet Li. This was the first time they teamed up in a movie. Like, they're not meant to be the main characters, but people just assume they were going to be the main characters because they're the two biggest.
They kind of are because they're the best in the movie.
They are the best in the movie, and they're also the biggest names in the movie. But it was just kind of like... Yeah, apparently people got angry. Like, when their first reaction to the first trailer was like, who's this kid? This is stupid. I want to... Yeah, basically. And then they recut another trailer to show more Jackie Chan, Jet Li action. And, yeah, I was actually surprised. Not surprised, but you don't hear a lot about this movie. Not a lot of people praise it, but no one really, hates on it. But it did moderately well at the box office, which was good. And...
Okay, so I'm just going to cut in for a second. The thing I remember him from is Sky High. Did you see that?
I don't think so.
It was the high school for superheroes.
No, I definitely didn't see that.
2005?
Nope.
Yeah, it was great little movie.
Oh.
It's actually, I would recommend that. Go watch it.
I remember hearing about that.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
It was well done. Okay, sorry. It did well.
Yeah.
People like it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people hate on it.
Kinda. I don't know. I was reading some review stuff on IMDb or this or that, and then there's a few people that are like, "Oh, it's pretty great," and blah blah. Like, it's a good throwback, and which is the idea behind the project, that it's like a retelling of Journey to the West and that kind of thing. But then other people are just hate, just straight hate on it. That they're like, "Why waste these 2 stars in this movie?" Blah blah. And, all that kind of thing.
Why not?
Well, and it's not that they're wasted, but they're not the front and center.
Yeah. Well, how would you have them be the front and center? They'd have to either fight each other,
which they do,
but I mean, they'd have to be enemies, or right. I don't know, it'd be hard to give one of those, to give Jet Li or Jackie Chan top billing over the other one. So I think it's smarter to have them as not the main character.
Well, I think in this story it works, but in if you were going to do a different kind of story without the kid, then they could be themselves on a journey. They could be allies, and then they could be the top bills and doing stuff, right? Because they didn't write this movie or direct or choreograph the fight scenes. So that's why it's not really their project, which is what Jet Li and Jackie Chan especially are more known for, is choreographing a lot of their own fights. But a simple breakdown.
Before we get into the breakdown, I feel like it's very much... Do you remember there was a little bit of a boom of family-friendly movies 2000 to 2010? And I feel like this was one of them. Where there's it's entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining for children and for adults, but there's nothing overtly sexual. There's no blood.
Yeah, it's
that sweet spot of being able to appeal to many different ages.
I guess so. Yeah, I didn't think about that as so much, but it's
Sky High would be another example of that kind of movie.
Right.
I guess to a lesser extent the Pixar movies.
Well, Pixar movies always have huge appeal.
Yeah, sure. But that was kind of I feel like the way that they did that movie was a product of the time that it was being made. Possible. Yeah. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know. Well, before we get into all that.
Okay. Okay. Breakdown of the movie.
Sure. Or,
do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it? Because my plot summaries are so good.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay.
Very accurate.
So what we have is discount Shia LaBeouf.
Basically, that's all I could think of as well when I see this.
It's Shia LaBeouf said no. Okay, so we have discount Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I actually fess up to something. So I've seen this movie 3 times.
Yeah.
But to rewatch it, but it's been a few years. So to rewatch it, I watched it on YouTube, which you can watch it on YouTube. Apparently.
Yeah, there you go.
I watched it in double speed for all of the dialogue, and then in normal speed for the fight scenes.
Right.
So just to give everyone a heads up, and I skipped about the first 15 minutes of the movie. Skipped right to when it lands in
China.
In China.
Yeah.
So But to give you an idea, because I don't know, I started to watch it and there's a part where he like turns to talk to a girl about like kung fu movies and I'm like, I can't do this, and I skipped forward.
Yeah, no, that scene is pretty cringe.
Yeah.
Just like that dialogue between him and that girl, and you're like, oh my gosh.
So I'm just like, fuck this. Yeah. So basically, from what I remember, Discount Shia LaBeouf really likes martial art movies.
Yes.
He's friends with an old dude that runs a pawn shop or whatever.
Old Man Hop.
Old Man Hop?
Yeah, he runs a pawn shop.
Some bullies get in a fight with him, and they kill Old Man Hop.
Well, they force him to go on a robbery.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna go rob him because you can like get us into the shop.
Yeah, so he like betrays the honor of his friend or some shit.
And he feels bad about it.
And he feels bad, and then Old Man Hop is like, here's the staff. You must deliver it to someone. And then something, he wakes up in China.
Yes. Pretty much.
So he wakes up in China. He's in a village that's getting ransacked by dudes on horses. They corner him. They're going to take the staff or something. And then Jackie Chan shows up drunk. Kicks all their asses.
Yeah.
Then they go to a tavern.
Yeah.
Where the best fight scene, in my opinion, in the movie happens. Because the dudes show up again. And Jackie Chan uses Discount Shia LaBeouf as a puppet to fight them.
At some points.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. They're escaping, and then this girl that was playing a harp. What was she playing? Ukulele?
No, I don't know if it's like
some sort of string.
Yeah, it's like not like a zephyr, but it's like not a lute or whatever.
Yeah.
Some
so
sort
she's
of string.
Playing her ukulele. She's playing she's playing ukulele covers of Nirvana songs.
Yes.
In feudal China. Anyways, so she saved them as they're escaping because she has throwy hair darts.
Yeah, she like uses some throwing knives to save
And her name is Sparrow, and she never uses I, which is really annoying.
Yeah, she talks in the third person for whatever reason.
Everyone.
Yeah.
She doesn't use you and she doesn't use I, which is great. Or not. Anyways, something happens. It's revealed that she's gonna kill that guy.
Yeah, she wants to kill the Jade Warlord.
Right, because he burned her family to the ground or something.
Yeah, burned her village.
Whatever.
Her parents. Standard
revenge story.
Standard orphan revenge story.
And she's pretty, so Shia LaBeouf criticized her.
Sure.
And then they're like in the forest, and Jet Li steals the staff.
Yeah.
And they go chase after him, and there's the second best fight scene of the movie where Jet Li and Jackie Chan fight.
Yeah.
For the staff. And then they're like, oh hey, we're all on the same side. Turns out we all want the same thing. So they're like, cool. And then they go on a journey.
Yes.
And then they fight Hair Witch.
Yeah.
Because I think, sorry, I skipped a part. They both agreed to train Discount Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And we get some good montages.
Yes.
And
this is one of my problems with the movie, is that we don't know how much time passes in these montages.
I believe it's a lot of time because he has a ponytail by the end of the movie. He didn't have one at the beginning.
That's true, and he's also suddenly really good at martial arts.
And he's really good, yeah. He learned a lot. Well, I chalk this up to, okay, you know how...
I also chalk it up to it's like a mystical China, and then, you know, there's some mysticism going on.
And you know, like, how people are pissed off that Rey beat Kylo Ren in Force Awakens when they lightsaber fight?
Sure, if they're not paying attention.
People get mad, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, whatever, she shouldn't be able to. She doesn't have training. He's got way more training. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a chosen one magic. So I just assume same thing in this scenario.
Right, okay.
He's got chosen one magic.
Okay. Chosen ba.
Yeah. His father held him up over the savannah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so he's having a romantic moment with Sparrow. And then a hair witch shows up and she's like, give me the staff. I need it so that I can live forever.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. So then they fight and they get away, but then she fires a magic arrow that lands in Jackie Chan's back.
Yeah.
Who's an immortal, but he's not.
Yeah. He's just played up that he's immortal.
Right.
It's part of his mystique, but he's not actually immortal.
But he's actually just drunk.
Yeah, he's just drunk all the time.
So then Jet Li's like, no, they find some monks to help them.
Yeah.
We get children monks who are ridiculous. On a side note, why does America, specifically like America cinema during the years 2000 to 2010, like it so much when somebody's lying on their back and jumps up? Because they did that like 27 times in this movie.
It's a great stunt and it shows like some athleticism.
No, it is a great stunt, but you don't need to use it in every scene.
No, you misunderstand. It has to show that everyone can do it.
Yeah.
They all have the skills.
In China, this is how everybody just gets to, like, this is how they walk. Okay, so... where was I? Oh yeah, monks. Okay, so old monk, who's in it for like 3 seconds, is like, by the way, there's a mystical bridge or some shit, and an elixir of life, and whatever.
Well, they know about the elixir of life.
Yeah.
Previously. Cause that's
Yeah, no, I know that, but he's saying this is where it is.
Yeah,
it's really close.
They're close to the...
if you go over this bridge,
yeah,
there's gonna be an army there. Don't worry about it. Like, you're in the right spot.
Yeah, they're close to the 5-element mountain where the Jade Warlord lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Shia LaBeouf wants to save Jackie Chan by getting the elixir of life because he's never had a dad. I assume that's where that came from.
Yeah, well, he's his teacher.
His teacher, whatever. Who cares? I guess they've been together for several months because his ponytail grew out.
That's true.
So even though the front is still short, so he still has like business in the front, party in the back. But anyways, so he's like, I want to go get the thing, and Jet Li's like, don't get the thing. We need to wait 2 days and
wait for the moon to be dark so we can attack.
Yeah.
Sneak in.
And he's like, cool. And then Sparrow's like, says some shit, and he's like, yeah, I gotta go now. So he's like, I don't want to lose my teacher and the chance to get laid. So he goes, everything goes wrong. He has to fight Hair Witch.
Yeah.
She's beating him.
Well, the Hair Witch's motivation is she was promised, if you bring me the staff, I'll give you the elixir of life. He shows up and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you the staff, so give me the elixir.
Yeah.
And then the Warlord's like, oh, that's actually kind of an interesting proposition. He's like, you know what? You two fight, the winner gets it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty movie.
Yeah.
And then this was kind of cool because then it's like, he does have the skills, but she is clearly better.
Yeah. Although I would have been fine with the Warlord being like, I'm going to kill you both and keep the elixir for myself.
Yeah. Well, he's already immortal.
What? Well, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just because he's evil.
He's just Jade Warlord.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I like evil for the sake of evil. I'm okay with it in movies.
That's fair. So yeah, they fight.
He could have been a sociopath. That would have been fine. Anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah. They fight. It's an okay fight scene. Not great.
Sure.
Not the best one. Anyways, they fight. The best one, well, the third best one is when the little kid monks fight. That's my favorite. Anyways, they fight. He loses. All looks lost. At some point, we had a cutscene to Jet Li figuring out what was going on.
Yeah, because he goes in and sees the staff is gone.
Yeah. So Jet Li, Sparrow show up in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Fight scene.
Ensues.
Blah, blah, blah. Kid monks show up to kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. Jackie Chan gets the immortal life thing.
Gets the elixir, yeah.
We find out that Jet Li is just a clone of the Monkey King.
Yeah.
They give the stuff to the Monkey King.
Yep. And goes Monkey King attack.
Wins stuff. Jackie Chan fights Hair Witch and wins. And then Sparrow goes to kill the Warlord. Fails.
Yeah. She's shown, it's like classic movie stuff where it's like, I've got the one move that is totally gonna work, and then it just doesn't work.
Yeah. and classic movie stuff where it's like, oh, I've got the weapon that can beat him.
Yeah.
I better tell him about it first. I better telegraph the shit out of this.
Yeah.
So then she's like dying, and then Shia LaBeouf's like, oh, it's okay. And then he hugs the bad guy and stabs him. Goes back home. Everybody's happy. He fights the bullies because he's learned
skills.
The lesson of whatever. Good personness.
Yeah, he's a warrior now and wants to fight with honor.
Whatever, I don't care. It's an okay fight scene.
Sure. Well, it's nothing great, but yeah.
Anyways, turns out old man Jackie Chan is old man.
Yeah.
not dead because he's immortal.
He's immortal.
And the girl across the street works at a shop called Sparrow and looks like other Sparrow, and they're gonna boink, I guess. Credits.
Sure.
I'm so good at summarizing.
That's synopses.
Yeah. That's the movie.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it's hilarious watching this movie. It's only an hour and 40 minutes long, maybe an hour 40 something.
An hour 44.
Okay, an hour 44. But the pacing of it is almost breakneck ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
In that first half hour.
Yeah. And I still skipped the first 15 minutes.
It's just crazy. Because, like Devin said in her synopsis, literally he shows up in the village, is getting ransacked, and then Jackie Chan shows up immediately, and then you're like, okay, they fight, get away. And then there's another big fight scene with these Jade guys in the tavern that evening. It's not even like, oh, it's a couple of weeks later, we've been traveling along. It's just blam immediately again.
And then I guess the next day they fight Jet Li.
No, there's a little bit of time in that because they're showing like he's weed whacking.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so there's some time between there. But that first half hour chunk where it's just breakneck ridiculous.
So, one of the things I like about this movie is it doesn't waste time. It knows that you're there to watch Jackie Chan and Jet Li be Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and it gets to it.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that was going for an Oscar.
No.
There are ways that they could have done it that made it heartbreaking or fucking whatever. I don't care, but that's not what this movie is.
No, and it was meant to be more of an homage to old Shaw Brother, martial art movies, and what have you, and it is, but it's just crazy almost in a sense.
Oh yeah, we know what you want.
Yeah.
Here it is.
But then, because in that first half hour, it's like I said, it's so breakneck, but then it really does slow down. The exposition scene with Jackie Chan in that tavern is pretty extended, and it's just here's all the plot dump, boom, now.
Yeah, basically.
And then it's then there is that slow down period between where we get some good character moments with Jackie Chan and the kid. And what have you, but it's just kind of it's weird. I don't know. Like I said, some of this pacing stuff just seems weird to me, but the fight scenes are quite excellent in the movie.
Yeah. And you know who the real heroes of this movie is?
The wire guys?
No.
Oh.
The sound guys are called Foley artists.
Yeah,
right?
Foley artists.
The Foley artists.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching this movie and she fires that arrow and I'm like, was that the sound of an eagle cawing?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it was.
Yeah.
And when Jackie Chan at one point, he's like, tiger style. And then every time
there's a roar.
There's a roar for every punch and every kick. And I'm just like, all right.
Sound engineers were on it.
They used every animal in the animal kingdom. It was great. Yeah, one of those movies where...
Yeah, like I said, it was interesting
it
watching
works.
it.
Don't get me wrong.
No, it was interesting watching it because I haven't seen it in a while, and I definitely enjoyed it. But it was just kind of, again, I think I've talked about other movies where it's a little breathing space maybe could have helped, but it was just breakneck.
Yeah, they needed time for the eagle screams.
Yeah, I guess. And maybe that's just it. Maybe there could have been another scene or two, some I don't know, some more.
Well, you said they got backlash from the trailer, right?
Yes.
Maybe they cut out.
Yeah, very possible.
Maybe it was a longer movie and they...
Yeah, and apparently there was almost 5 script rewrites, and it was being rewritten while it was being shot, apparently.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
Yeah, but I know Jet Li, there was an interview, he was he knew he had worked with the screenwriters before, so he's like, no, they'll do a good job, and don't panic essentially about it, right? He's it's just they're trying to make a good movie, which, like I said, it is a good movie, but then maybe there was more that was cut, maybe there were some things that were changed.
You know what I had a problem with? The Hair Witch's wig. Because that just looks like they got it out of a bag. It didn't look good.
It seems good at some points and then really not good at other points.
Yeah, there's better wig work out there.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching a movie, in my opinion, and you're looking at somebody, you shouldn't be like, wow, that's a wig.
It's like the famous Kate Mara wig from Fantastic Four.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see any of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and I didn't see the more recent one, but apparently, you can tell when there's reshoots because she's wearing like a blonde wig, and you can tell it's not like her hair.
Yeah, it's like, that's a wig. We know it's a wig. It's flat. It's not even styled. It's right out of the bag.
Well, it's a minor-ish detail.
Yeah.
But it is annoying.
But it takes me out of it, right? Like when I look at it's like when you're watching a movie. This might not happen to you.
Sure.
When I'm watching a movie and I know what brand the goggles are, I know what brand the boots are, I know what brand every piece of clothing is.
Surprisingly, I do recognize a lot of stuff now.
Right? Yeah. It takes me out.
Right.
So I'm like, I feel like there needs to be like a step in between. If you're not making your costumes, which I'm not shaming movies for not making their own costumes,
sure.
because it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I feel like there needs to be a step between taking something out of the store and putting it on film, because otherwise it's very, I don't know.
It's just not that step above for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I can buy that wig.
As a professional person who works with costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I can put that wig on my head, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it's like my biggest, this wasn't in this movie, but it's like my biggest pet peeve when people wear their corsets upside down. And it happens with backup dancers in videos.
Oh, yeah.
It happens with a couple RuPaul contestants I've seen wear their corset upside down.
Maybe they want it to be over their hips like it's not supposed to be.
Which is, like, fine, but it's so... Because, like, a lot of corsets that are mass-produced aren't flat at the bottom. They come to a point.
Right.
And when that point is going up, the opposite shape of what a woman's body is. So just really, and then especially when it's like a sweetheart neck that's upside down, so it's like a little flower petal at the bottom.
Yeah.
And this has been Devin's rant about corsets.
Fair enough.
Well, you were there on the Saturday before Halloween at the store where, like, every 2 minutes I'm like, your corset's on upside down, that's why it's not fitting. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, you know, Jackie Chan reviving, of course, the Drunken Master character, Jet Li, an asshole monk. Normally, I haven't seen as much of old Jet Li catalog, so recently I did obtain a ton of them, and I've been rewatching them. But always his monk characters in his old Shaolin movies, especially the first 3 Shaolin movies, there's always like a revenge plot, but he's also like being like the total good guy.
Yeah.
Right? He was a little more aloof asshole in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was the Monkey King's clone? I guess that's the explanation.
I don't know if Jet Li has played the Monkey King in another film or not.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they look good, he looked like a good
cool
Monkey
makeup,
King thing, and then he's doing some stuff. I like the fight scene between him and the Jade Warlord.
You mean the part where he, like, flicks his finger and his staff...
Staff's fighting, yeah.
And he stands back?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good job, fight choreographer.
No, but, well, it's like, it's a trick. The Monkey King's all about trickery.
I'm just being a dick. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
It's not the best fight choreography I've ever seen, but it's not the worst.
No, I think a lot of the effort went into the fight choreography with Jet Li and Jackie Chan and their fight scene together, which I was reading some interview stuff, and Jackie Chan especially was like, he said it was the easiest and best time he's had working on fight choreography with another martial artist.
That's cool.
He said normally people either forget, they make mistakes. He's like, we didn't have to do 10 takes. You don't do the same stunt 20 times. He's just like, it was the best. And that makes a lot of sense. They've been doing a lot of movies for a long time. Mm-hmm. And movie fighting has like a rhythm and a cadence that they would both be very used to, right? Even though Jackie Chan's is very frenetic and frantic. Right? In a lot of the times, but that's stuff that he choreographs, right? So.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't the best, though. No. What I'm saying.
Sure.
This is like a mid-level.
Well, and again, I didn't write it down what the budget was on this movie, but it wasn't like a ballooned up budget where they could spend a lot of time on it.
And it did suffer from that early 2000s trend of wires.
Yeah.
Like we talked about in The Queen of the Damned.
Sure.
Where it's like, why would you jump somewhere when you can sail through the air?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. This was definitely post Crouching Tiger,
Yeah.
Dragon, which you famously used the wire work, but in a more art style
In
way.
a more sparing kind of. I feel like all of the wires used in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was for a purpose. Like
Well,
it
I would
was
say
a story-driven purpose.
Yeah, it wasn't as much. It wasn't as always involved in the fight scenes.
Yeah.
It was more like, oh, we're jumping from place to place, and
Or we're running through the trees.
Yeah, we're running
and
through
it
the
looked
trees.
really cool.
Yeah.
But it was like story-based in that like that was kind of their martial
thing,
arts training or whatever. Other movies that saw that and said, oh, that looks really cool. It's like, we're going to put it in because it looks cool. It didn't really affect the overall.
Well, and again, I wonder if going back to this, the guys wanted to pay homage to these old wushu's the martial art. But anyway, they wanted to pay homage to this, so maybe that wasn't in their head that other people have done it. They were like trying to homage these old films that all did it.
Okay.
Right? Because again, watching all these old Jet Li movies, especially the old Shaolin ones.
They use the wires?
Oh yeah, it's all the wires.
Oh.
There's a lot of, not a lot, but there's definitely some wires going on. And I think in more than some of the later ones, especially one of my favorite ones is the Tai Chi Master, and that one has a lot of wire action in it.
Oh my gosh, are they really slow?
What?
Tai Chi Master?
No, Tai Chi Master is a great movie. He plays like a character who's just like a normal Shaolin monk, him and a buddy, and then they get kicked out. Mm-hmm. And then this is the theme of a lot of Jet Li movies. Again, is the one guy kind of turns bad, and then Jet Li maintains like the straight path. Jet Li eventually, like the guy betrays him, and he kind of cracks a little, and then develops Tai Chi. But he's not slow when he fights. But the movie is so much wire fu everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his buddy fight on like this tower made of wood, where Michelle Yeoh's in the movie, and she's like trapped.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, and then him and his buddy, they're fighting with like the Chinese swords, and then they're like breaking the thing, and you can see all the wires like breaking logs everywhere, and they jump around it, and they're flying around. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I've seen it a ton of times. Yeah, she's in that one. That's a good one. And that was funny, again, watching some of these old Jet Li movies, how much of the same... Because it was sort of the Kung Fu revival, I think. It was the early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's, like, the same people. Like I said, I watched the first 3 Shaolin movies, and it's, like, all the same dudes.
It's like when Stephen Chow did his movies, right?
Yeah.
Like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle have a lot of crossover for the cast.
Yeah. Because why not? I mean, if you enjoy working with them...
For sure. Which are both great movies. Everybody should go watch them.
Yeah. But anyway,
especially Kung Fu Hustle.
Before we leave Forbidden Kingdom, I don't know, there's not much more really to say about the movie.
It's not a deep movie.
Yeah, that's just it. And even like they wrote it like that on purpose.
Yeah,
it's
and it's fine.
Yeah, here's the exposition. There's gonna be some fights. There's some fights, and then the movie ends.
We have discount Shia LaBeouf.
Discount Shia LaBeouf. No, it was kind of cool. They, like I said, it was they bring in the mystical elements with the Jade Emperor who goes to do 500 years of meditation, comes back.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do. Comes back and then grants Discount Shia LaBeouf a wish to go home and what have you. It's a good little journey.
There's nothing wrong with this movie. You should go watch it. If you have like a 10-year-old, they're gonna love it.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially if they like fighting.
Yeah.
Which I like fighting. Every time I watch a Kung Fu movie or a martial arts movie, I just want to go punch things afterward. It's great. I like
well, especially for someone who used to do martial arts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it awakens it in me.
Yeah,
poor Tony.
Yes.
Just gonna feel my wrath.
But yeah, like I was saying previously, I hadn't seen a lot of old Jet Li movies. I think my almost introduction to Jet Li was, probably like many North Americaners, was when he was in Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, he's in Lethal Weapon 4?
Yeah, he's the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, I can't.
And then I was like, wow, this guy was great. And then I heard people were like, oh man, it's kind of too bad. He's usually he's like always plays a good guy. And I was like, wait, this guy's been in other movies. And then I started looking up more. But I've seen Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm like way more familiar with Jackie Chan than I am with Jet Li.
Yeah, myself as well was my point.
I used to rent them for 5 movies for $5 for 5 days.
Yeah, and then again, I've gone back into his catalog as well and watched some of his older stuff from the 70s.
Who Am I is his best movie.
Who Am I is pretty great, yeah.
Because he climbs on top of that church and yells, "Who am I?" That's the best scene in any movie.
Yeah, it's pretty
And he
hilarious.
also does that Dutch clog fight scene in that movie, which is great. Which is the one that he does the ladder fight scene in.
I think that's Jackie Chan's first strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was great too.
Which is hilarious because that's the one where he goes to Australia. And then he's like...
Yeah!
and then he's like in a snowy part and then he's back around and he's like a secret agent guy. I like how in so many of his movies he just plays secret agent Jackie.
Yeah.
Either Jackie, but they don't say his last name, or it's Jackie. It's just literally just Jackie Chan.
Which movie? I can't remember, but he basically scales like a 10-foot wall by like
all of them.
like, well, it's a corner, and he runs at the. Maybe it's taller than that. I don't know how tall feet are.
Sure.
But he like runs at the corner and basically like parkours up the wall before parkour was a thing.
He does it in Rush Hour.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Rush Hour.
Yeah, he does in Rush Hour 1, and I know he does that stunt in several other movies. He does usually do some kind of hop up of, like, or a lot of times there'll be an alleyway and a fence.
Yeah.
And in his way, and then he has to like wall kick off of something to like get around it. He does that a lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's
so
quite
great.
amazing. Yeah, of course, because famously he does all his own stunts.
Yes.
I still think he maintains that, although I haven't seen anything that was more super recent stuff. But
I believe that in a lot of Hollywood movies they don't let him.
no, I think they still do.
I think they
Maybe something like similar, because I know in like the rush hours he was still
yeah, but like insurance wise they won't let him anymore.
Right.
And like I think
because
that
he's definitely older.
started around the time of the Tuxedo,
Right.
where it was a lot of CG for stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because was the Tuxedo before the Medallion? I can't remember.
I think it was this like around.
Because it's around the same time. I know that they came out pretty close to each other, those two, within like a 2-year period.
The Tuxedo was pretty bad though, wasn't it? If memory serves.
It wasn't terrible, but
it was like a magical tuxedo or something.
Yeah, it was like a nano suit tuxedo.
That's
essentially,
right,
and
yeah.
it just like gave you fighting capabilities.
Right. Magical tuxedo.
Yeah.
What I said.
The medallion actually was a magical medallion.
Yeah, robot medallion, magical tuxedo.
Yeah.
Got it.
Pretty much. Yeah, and it's always interesting if you've seen many Jackie Chan films. There's always a montage at the end of him doing some stunts.
Yeah.
He gets hurt doing them.
And then you're just like watching and like, oh my god, like especially I keep thinking of that one ladder fight because I've seen the outtakes and I'm just like, holy fucking shit, guy.
Yeah, well, and of course in Who Am I? When he falls down the trees, he really does hurt himself.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing, man? like,
you can hire somebody to do that.
Yeah, like you could have like cut that so you didn't fall from like. What are you doing?
Or what's that one movie? That might be Who Am I too, where he runs off the bridge and jumps onto the truck that's driving underneath it and lands on it, and you're like, Jackie.
I don't know. I don't think he does that in Who Am I?
That might be a different one.
It could be very possible.
Yeah, he just runs off a bridge onto a truck that's underneath and jumps and lands on the truck.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And of course, in the Who Am I? Of course, he goes down that building on the glass on the outside of it. That Dutch building.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
And some of his older stuff as well, like the original Drunken Master.
Oh yeah.
Those were very old Chinese kung fu movies.
Mm-hmm.
And you know they're still pretty intense and what have you. The second one especially, because he ends up fighting like this dude in like a foundry, and he like lands on some coals at a couple points, and you know. Didn't
he get his start in a Bruce Lee movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was in to Enter the Dragon, hilariously, but he was in some older kung fu movies, which I haven't watched them because he wasn't the lead.
Right.
Like he was just like a dude. I think famously as well in the Drunken Master, he's not touted as the lead, but it was like some of his first starts. It wasn't until he made Police Story where he became the director, writer, action guy.
Yeah.
And that movie famously. It's just insane. The whole movie is just crazy.
Yes.
Like they crash cars through a village. He's just doing all sorts of stuff. He's hanging off the bus with the umbrella and like all sorts of crazy stuff.
Basically, Jackie Chan has like a dream journal, I guess. Writes down stints he dreams of and then makes it happen.
Basically. Well, and it's like, and it's also, you could tell like, so he's like, oh, I like cars, and then so like he's doing car stuff in movies, right? Like stuff like that. Yeah, Police Story. If you have not seen Police Story, definitely watch it. I think it's from 85?
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, I think I want to say, but it is great.
It's as old as me.
No, snap. But yeah, it is pretty great. The stunt work and the story is actually quite interesting. It's good too, you know, a bunch of cops, and then it's those Asian style where there's the mix.
Which movie? This might not be a Jackie Chan or a Jet Li movie.
Oh.
Which movie is the one where he goes into the police department and he just happens to like walk into a dojo full of black belts and has to fight his way out? I know this happened in a movie and I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, I am also not recalling.
I feel like it's a Jet Li or a Jackie Chan, but I can't.
Or maybe Ong Bak.
Oh, maybe it was Ong Bak. Was Ong Bak the one? This is so bad. I'm so bad at remembering things.
In all fairness, I haven't seen Ong Bak in a long time though. All I know
what
is
movie
crazy.
is the movie where the main character and the bad guy had the most intense, like, realistic fight in a bathroom stall that was like less than 2 feet wide?
I don't know.
And it's just like one take of
really?
them like fucking railing on each other with no room to move around. It's
right,
just
so they're just like...
it's just punches and blocks.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
I don't know.
feel like I saw it in the theater, so it would have been post, like when I was working there, so it would have been post 2004.
I honestly
It might have been on bag.
It's possible, yeah.
It would have been between 2004 and 2008 if I went to a screening. So, if you're listening, listeners, what movie was that?
I was gonna say the new Mission Impossible had a kind of a cool fight scene in the bathroom, which was neat. But
it wasn't a one. Because this was like you guys can't see me holding my hands up, but it was like this wide.
Yeah, like you're saying, just a bathroom stall.
And it was like a shot of just like the stall and like walls on each side.
Yeah.
And like the shot wasn't just that, like you could see the walls on each side, like you could see how narrow it was, like claustrophobic. I can't remember what it was now. This has been another episode of Devin Can't Remember Things.
Fair enough.
Maybe I dreamed it.
Well, and then just flipping away a bit from Jackie Chan to Jet Li, because of course after he was in Lethal Weapon 4, he just started banging out with a bunch of North American movies.
Yeah, because he did Romeo Must Die.
Romeo Must Die, yeah. And
with the Queen of the Damned.
With the Queen of the Damned.
Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Right? Akesha.
Yeah, and then he made... he made a ton of them, of course, right?
Didn't he make a movie? Oh my god, this is going to be the worst episode ever of Devin Can't Remember Movies. Where there was like a prison planet.
The One.
Was a movie.
That was. Yes. I was going to mention The One. The One is great. I really enjoyed The One.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because he did The One. He did like War. Unleashed I never saw, but apparently it's pretty decent. But
maybe Unleashed is the one with the bathrooms.
Maybe it's. I know the plot's weird. It's like he has like a collar on, and then he's like in underground fighting, and like Bob Hoskins like takes the collar off, and then he goes and fights, and
maybe that's the one with the room full of black belts.
Maybe it's the one with the room full of black belts.
It's the funniest scene ever. They're like, oh shit, he's in the police department, and then like they open the door, and it's like totally like North American Western police station, right? And then they open the door to like fucking Japan. And it's just a room full of black. That might have been Unleashed.
Again, I haven't seen that one, so it's possible.
Yeah, keep listing. I'm gonna Google that quick.
Sure, well, no, I was gonna say, and then I remember, these don't have the dates, unfortunately, in front. Or no, they do. Yeah, because then he was in Black Mask. That one was kind of weird, where he couldn't feel pain, so he had to always, like, check himself to see if he was hurt. Like, he was actually suffered from, like, he got, like a surgery done on him, so he became, like, the ultimate assassin. Kiss of the Dragon. Kiss of the Dragon's a weird movie. I really enjoy it, but I also always was, like, disappointed that I thought Bridget Fonda was gonna do more. Bridget Fonda? Yeah, that's right, Fonda. Because she was in, like, a Femme Nikita movie, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, that'll be cool. Jet Li with, like, a Femme Nikita, they'll do some cool stuff. And then she was just, like, prostitute who witnessed the murder. And then that was it.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's in France, and then...
Maybe that one had the room full of black belts.
I don't think so.
You don't remember that?
Yeah. That one, I enjoy that one, of course, as well.
If you Google, does Unleashed movie have a room full of black belts? In the section where it's like Google's people also ask, it says, how rich is Tony Robbins? So I'm clearly missing something.
Yeah. And there was Cradle to the Grave. I don't remember that one that much, but that was the one with DMX, wasn't it? The rapper?
I clearly don't know what's happened in any movie.
It was DMX, and then the plot was the guys thought they were buying black diamonds, but it was like uranium or something like that. It was going to be like nuclear fuel or something. Oh, I can't remember.
Did Ong-Bak end in a cave?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure it did.
So that's
and it was like a multi-tiered cave, and the fight scene just goes crazy.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That's Ong-Bak. I was going to say, one of my favorite Jet Li movies as well, aside from the Tai Chi Master, is The Fist of Legend, which is on Netflix.
Have I seen that?
It's the one where he fights the guy with the belt at the end of the sword.
Oh, that's a great movie.
It's a great movie. But what's funny about this movie is I have always seen it dubbed for a long time.
Okay.
And then more recently, I watched it with the subtitles on because I was like, oh, well, I'll just see what's going on. And it's like two different movies, which was shocking to me.
Interesting.
Because in the dub version, they talk more a bit about his love story with the Japanese girl, and especially at the end where he's like, oh, I'm going to go and be with Mitsuko, that's her name. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the dialogue is different, and of course the main bad guy's voice is entirely different.
Okay.
In the dub version, he's got like this deep, like, Japanese bad guy voice, which I'm sure if you listen to anime or anything you've heard, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in the Chinese dialogue, he's got like a high-pitched voice, and it just doesn't, like in my brain anymore, I'm like, no, that doesn't even make sense.
That's not his voice.
It's not his voice. But yeah, and in the Chinese version, it really plays up how Jet Li is fighting for China, and he's going to try to like get the Japanese out of China, and at the end of the movie, he's like, I'm not going to go back to my girl, I'm going to continue to fight in China. Like, all this stuff. Yeah, it's like two different movies. It's crazy. But that one is one of my favorites. Not a lot of wire in that that movie. Just really good fight scenes.
Fights a guy with the belt.
He fights a guy with the belt at one point, yeah. No, but he, like, him and his buddy, who you would recognize from, like, the Tai Chi Master and other movies, he plays, like, a dojo master. Jet Li's in Japan studying, the head master dies, so he goes back to discover what the heck happened. Like, why did this guy die? And then he goes on that journey to figure it out, whereas everyone else is like complacent. They're like, oh, he just died in a fight, whatever.
Yeah.
But then Jet Li discovers he was poisoned, and then they go to like the Japanese dojo, and then he fights the guy, and like it's a really good movie. It's totally worth watching. The fight scenes are really good.
That's cool.
Because Jet Li, it plays up like the other guys are doing mostly all Chinese stuff, right? And then, because he's been in Japan, he's learned some Japanese techniques. And then at one point, he's like, guy's doing like the horse stance, and he's like, what's your power? Where they're like, do a kick, and the guy does a kick, and it's pretty botched. And he's like, no, I'll show you. He's like, you gotta twist from like your hip. He's like Japanese style. And then the guy gets like a mat, and he kicks him, and he goes flying across the dojo ground. And everyone's like, whoa!
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really good. And so yeah, like they use the wire stuff for like that kind of stuff and like showing the strength, and Jet Li fights Mitsuko's uncle at one point, who's like a Japanese martial arts master, and he's like an old guy, and the scene is pretty great because he's like, oh, I gotta warm up, and he's stretching, and then Jet Li's like, what are you doing, man? Basically, and then the fight goes crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend watching it. It's on Netflix, like I said, Fist of Legend. It's really good.
He was also in Hero.
I was gonna get to Hero.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's not in Q yet.
No, bring it up. There's no Q. I'm just talking.
I love Hero. It's one of my favorite movies, I think.
Yeah, I like the visuals of Hero.
Yeah, it's beautiful the way that they colors.
All the stories have a different color palette.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, which it's like simple but so effective.
Yeah, really effective storytelling.
Yeah. And apparently, and I didn't know until I was talking with like a coworker one time about the movie, and like this is like an old Chinese story, The Emperor and the Assassin, which I didn't know because I'm not Chinese. So,
also not Chinese.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Shocker, guys.
Yeah, that it was like this old story, and I love the movie. I've watched the movie a ton of times.
Oh yeah, I've seen it so many times. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful movie, and the fight scenes are very cool.
And again, a lot of the crouching tiger wire fu that they're flying around, but it's all again in service of the story and how they fight, and it just all makes the art.
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is gorgeous in it too.
Yes.
If I have a really dumb moment, Donnie Yen is in that too, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's great. Let's talk about Donnie Yen for the next hour.
Well, I don't know as much about Donnie Yen, unfortunately.
I just love him. That's it.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the Ip Man movies, but I don't know as much about him.
He's great.
Sure.
It's an excellent martial artist.
Yes.
The end. That's all you need to know.
No, fair enough.
Wasted in Star Wars.
He was unfortunately wasted in Star Wars, yeah.
And Rogue One.
Yes.
Rogue One. Thank you.
Yeah, Hero is really good, and I don't even, is it on Netflix? I haven't looked for it.
I don't know, maybe. Netflix did a Netflix exclusive sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Right, I never watched it.
It's not good.
Oh, okay. That's
like
clearly I haven't watched it.
it's sad. It makes me sad.
Right.
Because it's obviously a much lower budget, and it's obviously a sequel.
Well, and probably doesn't have that, like, Ang Lee, the director of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, had a very set vision.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like, yeah, it's like a made-for-TV sequel to a really good movie. It's never going to be the same, right? And then there was a lot more CG in it that didn't look very good.
Really?
Yeah. Not for fight scenes, but, like I think there's one part where a tower kind of crumbles, but it just doesn't look very good and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because like I said, I haven't watched it. I remember seeing it, like, on the menu or something. I was like, oh, I should watch that one day, but never got around to that day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine that you didn't.
That I didn't get around to it. Well, and this is funny. I have a list here in front of me of Jet Li and Jackie Chan, adjusted for inflation, grossing movies, like the top. And it's almost sad, but I think it's like almost doesn't count, is that The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which Jet Li is in, is number 2.
Oh, he is in that, isn't he?
I never saw the movie because I was kind of hyped.
Third Mummy, right? Because the second
Mummy? No, it's the fourth Mummy.
What's happened in the third one?
Is it the fourth Mummy?
No. Okay, so the first Mummy is a great movie.
First Mummy's great.
That people should watch.
Yes.
The second Mummy is...
Is that the Scorpion King?
Is the Scorpion King.
I was thinking there was one before the Scorpion King.
And it's mediocre.
It's mediocre.
There was a Scorpion King movie, so maybe that's what you're
thinking. Maybe that,
yes. But The Mummy 3 was like, it was sad.
Yeah.
What's her name? What's her name?
Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
She's
not in it, yeah.
They replaced her with somebody who has only heard the chimney sweep in Mary Poppins. It's the only British accent she's ever encountered.
Fair enough.
So that's what she sounds like. Right. And then they have kids, and the kids are like a part of it, and like
the one kid was enough in Scorpion King.
And it's like no guys. So it was sad.
Yeah, like I was kind of excited because I was like, oh, that sounds like it could be kind of fun, and Jet Li and the Mummy franchise, you know. Yeah. And then I heard it was just like terrible, and I was never bothered watching. But for some reason, it's literally the second highest grossing movie he was in.
She has a worse English accent than I do. I can't do any accent except sad Russian.
Yeah. Well, I have not seen it, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
No,
it's awful. And you know what? They took a pay cut to the wardrobe or something because she just looks like a bad cosplay version of Evie in the first two. It's so weird, man.
Nice. Yeah, that's...
I don't even know I want to see what actress... You keep talking.
Well, but number 1 was Lethal Weapon 4 that he was in.
Oh, that's kind of sad that they're both like movies where he's not the star.
He's not the star, yeah. Well, no, because then, again, this is almost not shocking because the next 2 are the Expendables. So it's like these first 4, it's like he was part of an ensemble cast kind of deal. But the next one is Romeo Must Die.
Oh, yeah.
And then number 6 is Hero. Which I was like, yeah. It goes Hero, The One, then The Forbidden Kingdom. So The Forbidden Kingdom made like 128 million, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, apparently the girl that they got to play Evie was from Coyote Ugly.
Oh.
Oh, she was also in A History of Violence.
No.
Oh, so maybe she's not a terrible actress.
No, maybe she was just terrible in the role.
Worst English accent ever, though. History of Violence was a good movie, but I totally thought it was going to be like a fight movie.
Yeah. Me too.
And not a I hate my life, I need to go cut myself movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep getting off topic today. Oh no.
Well, and then it's like there's like Unleashed is on the list. Jet Li's Fearless, which we didn't talk about, but have you seen Fearless?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know any of these movies.
It's the one where
Does he fight a room full of black belts?
Maybe, but I don't think
in
so.
Their geese.
No.
Like, they're just in their geese with their black belts hanging out in this room.
No, unfortunately. But it's the one where it's about the guy who basically like popularized not combat to the death in China, and it's like he starts as a kid and like watches like his dad fight in the ring, and then his dad gets like either killed or hurt really badly, and then he wants to fight in the ring, and then he kills a couple dudes, and then he gets super beaten, and then joins like with the peasantry, and then he like defends their village from some thieves or brigands or whatever, and then he goes back and then he starts fighting again, but then he's like, I don't want to like kill people.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's really good. It's like long too, but it's really good.
Or am I just thinking of Karate Kid?
Did you say you're Karate Kid?
Yeah.
But anyway, Jet Li's Fearless is in there. War, which I never saw, and that's the one with him and Jason Statham.
He was in a movie with Jason.
He's in 2 movies with Jason Statham.
Oh, maybe that's the one where they fight the black belts. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Possible. No, Jason Statham plays like an FBI guy or something like that, and Jet Li's like a criminal underworld like assassin.
Oh, that's not that movie.
And then okay, yeah. Apparently, and there's one called League of the Gods, which I have not seen that, but
I don't think I have either.
No, yeah, it's no one saw it apparently because it barely made any money worldwide. But yeah, so it's interesting just looking at his list because this doesn't have numbers for any of those old Chinese movies that he's in, right? Because I don't think they collected box office data for some of those.
No, never mind.
Okay.
We won't get into it. No, never mind. I'm thinking of music.
Okay.
And music numbers and charts.
Yeah.
Not movie okay, never mind.
But it's funny because I actually haven't seen any of the Expendables films.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah. I always was not interested, but it has like all these big ensemble action movie casts, and I've always been like, eh.
Yeah, Helen Mirren's in it too, right?
What? Helen Mirren's in it?
Or is that Red?
She was definitely in Red.
I'm thinking of Red.
Yeah, her, Bruce Willis, and
feel
John
like
Malkovich.
the same movie to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then the Jackie Chan list is also interesting because I got a printout of it.
Yeah. Well, let me guess. Rush Hour.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. Not Rush Hour. Wait.
Rush Hour 1 is in the top 10 or is it in the top 10?
Wait.
Yes.
Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon are different movies.
They are.
Shanghai Noon had Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And then there's Shanghai Nights.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw Shanghai Nights.
Really? It's good.
They're in England?
Yeah, they go to England.
Do they also go to England in Rush Hour 2?
No.
Rush Hour 3?
They go to France, I think, in Rush Hour 3.
Oh man, why can't I remember anything?
I haven't seen Rush Hour 3, so I couldn't even tell you the details.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I know I've seen Shanghai Noon though.
Yeah, Shanghai Noon is really good.
Yeah.
No, so the Jackie Chan list is interesting because Rush Hour 2 is number 1.
Oh.
Followed by Kung Fu Panda.
He's in Kung Fu Panda?
Which I didn't even know he was in Kung Fu Panda.
I thought that was Jack Black.
Well, he obviously plays...
something else.
Yeah.
Not the panda.
Not the panda. And then Rush Hour 1 is number 3.
Oh.
And then The Karate Kid, Kung Fu Panda 2.
He's in Karate Kid?
Yeah, the recent one. He was like...
okay.
Which was crazy that the recent one made such a big profit. I thought people hated that movie.
Kid?
Yeah, I thought people hated that movie.
Wait, didn't YouTube Premium just make Cobra Kai? And it's like,
really?
And it's blowing up, and it has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff.
No, awesome. So the Karate Kid is back.
Why don't I remember things, Dan?
I don't know. Karate Kid, then Rush Hour 3 is number 6.
Well, Shanghai Noon's pretty low on that.
Well, and then Shanghai Noon and Nights are 8 and 9.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's still in the top 10.
Owen Wilson doesn't get the draw.
He doesn't. Not as Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker in those movies was pretty great. The first 2 Rush Hours.
He was like
really good.
the most Chris Tucker man.
Yeah. The most Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone thought he was Chris Rock.
Yeah. Well, and then interestingly, the one that kind of introduced Jackie Chan to the North American audience is more Rumble in the Bronx, number 11.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then it kind of, Forbidden Kingdom's number 12, and the movie continues along with some of his other stuff, like Super Cop is in the top 20 there. First Strike is number 18.
Do you ever, this is off topic, you know how like there's Hollywood, there's Bollywood, there's like Chinese cinema,
yes,
and there's like movies in Bollywood that we've never heard of
course,
that do like as well as like
they do
North America. Huh? Yeah, they do great, right?
And sometimes they get played in cinemas in our area.
Oh, yeah.
And you just see them selling out like crazy.
Yeah, right? Actually, that was always a problem when I worked at the theater, is that the movies would sell out and then people would buy tickets to other movies.
Just go in.
And they'd be sitting in the aisles and we'd be like, this is a fire hazard. And then, anyways, regardless.
Yes.
So there's Bollywood, there's Chinese cinema, movies that are huge that we've never heard of until they win an award over here or whatever, right? How come that's not for Canada? There is no Canadian cinema scene where Canadian-made movies are making bank, but only in Canada.
I was actually listening to some interesting information about that kind of thing before.
Oh, really?
Because there is a couple of awards and prizes that are given, like the Polaris one, I think it's for music. Because there is Canadian cinema, of course, and it does get shown at the Toronto International Music Festival. International Film Festival.
We don't even have a film festival.
It's a music festival, but they show movies.
Toronto Coachella.
No, at the TIFF there.
Yeah.
And like some, I guess, get shown, of course, at the Vancouver one. The Toronto one's the more well-known one in other circles. And occasionally some movies do break through, but I don't think...
Like Ginger Snaps, which is a great show.
But I just don't think that it's like in the long format movies. It's usually like maybe shorter films or documentaries. Yeah. Because if you're going to make that kind of thing, you just go to Hollywood.
I guess that's the thing, which is like hilarious because then Hollywood shoots most of their stuff up here anyways. But I was just thinking about that now because I'm like, there's different pockets in the world where like countries have their own film industry that does well.
Famously, Italian movies they have their own film industry and stuff like that.
But there's just like, I don't know, Canada lacks identity there.
Sure, and it's just because we live next door to like the biggest culture exporter on like in the universe, right?
Yeah, fair.
But you know,
wasn't Juno Canadian?
I think so.
Okay. I think at least the writer was.
Well, and I was to say that's just it. There's a lot of Canadian talent working in other areas, but there's maybe not big production movies being made.
I can't think of, except for Ginger Snaps, I can't think of any completely, and Ginger Snaps 2 and 3, obviously. But I can't think of any other exclusively Canadian movies.
And I'm sure they're out there. They just
they just haven't come across my radar.
That's correct. Well, and again, it could be just efforts, especially these days, are focused more on television.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, because if you can land a good television
documentary's doing well.
Yeah, if you land a good television gig now, I mean, it's way better than working on like one movie.
That's fair.
If you work on a 5-season show.
That's fair.
If you worked on Stargate, I mean, bam.
Yeah.
10 seasons.
Yeah, okay.
Even that guy who played the control guy who was like in the episode for literally like a minute every episode got to make 10 seasons worth of the show.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And he was just the gate control guy.
Perfect.
Basically. But you are correct. It's we don't hear about it as much, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it could just be, again, it's not the same style, because I've seen, so you hear about a Canadian movie, you're like, oh, okay, and you read the synopsis and you're like, that doesn't sound.
Oh God, it sounds so Canadian.
No, it just doesn't sound as entertaining as I would think, or maybe it's like more of like an artsy type project.
I don't want to watch a lumberjack consider things, not chop down trees.
Yeah.
I wonder how the numbers for Jackie and Jet Li would change just when it's like specific to China.
Yeah, and again, that was unfortunately I couldn't get those kind of, because that's what I wanted. I was very interested. I was like, what about their old movies? How do they stack up comparatively to some
and
of
like
new
how
stuff?
How does like Shanghai Nights do?
Well, these numbers are worldwide.
Yeah.
And
no,
actually,
but I mean, just in China. Like, did it get ignored or was it good?
I had another chart that I did not bring because I thought this one was better, but it had like kind of what was made in North America and then the rest of the world.
Oh.
But again, it doesn't isolate just pure China, because there's always been a long-standing, not a lot of Hollywood movies get played there. Right, it wasn't until more recently, right, where like Star Wars was there and like some Pixar movies and stuff.
And then they do fucking gangbusters.
Yeah, or like Warcraft went like ham out there.
Yeah.
Right, where everyone was like, Warcraft is not so good, and then China loves it.
I didn't mind it.
I never saw it actually.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was very goofy though. It had a very cartoony feel.
Well, and that's one of the things that's interesting, again, watching some of these the older China movies, and even the Forbidden Kingdom, not really as much, but it's like there's always, it just almost doesn't seem to fit comedy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like that's the humor of the region, and that's the style, like especially in some of the older ones that are just like what's the funny stuff is just ridiculous, and especially of course nowadays where you're like, whoa dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know,
I mean, Kung Fu Hustle does a good job of balancing like extremely cartoonish ridiculousness with serious and good fight choreography.
And again,
that scene where he's running from the lady and she's like throwing her shoe at him and stuff looks so stupid.
The scene for me in Kung Fu Hustle, and I think you were there, is the scene where they're playing, or not Kung Fu Hustle, sorry, I'm thinking Shaolin Soccer.
Okay, no, I was thinking Kung Fu Hustle, you know, when the landlady's chasing him?
Chasing him,
Yeah, that was amazing.
No, I like the the throwing knives, and then we just...
No, that was Kung Fu Hustle.
No, I know that's Kung Fu Hustle. I'm thinking of Shaolin Soccer, though. The scene for me was the first time they play soccer, and then it turns into like a war movie suddenly.
Yes.
And he's got like a helmet and a gun on, and then he's crawling under barbed wire, and like mines are exploding near him.
Oh my god.
I could not stop laughing the first time I saw that.
So funny.
Because it literally just comes out of nowhere. He's just kind of like playing soccer, and then all of a sudden he's like on the ground, and then crawling, and then he's just like, it's like, what is happening?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that they fight Team Evil in Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah, the trade all like evil.
And then that team of soccer players that are actually just women with like mustaches.
Yeah.
The movie's so funny.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Definitely watch it.
Go watch Kung Fu Hustle while you're at it.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle was pretty great. Has he done more after that?
He did like a kids movie about an alien, but there wasn't like fighting so I didn't go see it.
I didn't recall that he made like another Kung Fu type comedy movie.
I don't know, maybe Kung Fu Hustle took out of him.
Yeah. It definitely was like a lot more over the top comparatively to Shaolin Soccer.
Good movie though.
Yes.
When they fight the guys that play the thingy.
Yeah.
What's that?
I actually honestly don't know the name of that.
The stringed
It's a stringed instrument.
And like when they strum it, it's like little warriors come out of the sound waves, which sounds stupid, but it works really well.
It was super awesome,
Yeah, you should watch that.
It was very inspired by like old.
Goodbye, I'm gonna go watch it right now.
Old martial art movies where they would do crazy mystical stuff like that. And everything, right? So it's just now we have the technology, you can visualize it better and make it better.
The trailer. I know you hate trailers.
Yes.
But the Kung Fu Hustle trailer was amazing because they played that song that I can't remember by the Ramones. And it was really well done.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So this has been the episode of Devin Can't Remember Anything and Makes Stuff Up.
It's been the Kung Fu movie episode.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add? Have I cut you off too early?
No. I'm just trying to think of any movies I haven't mentioned. I was going to actually, though, question. Has there been another good Kung Fu movie in the last little while?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, me neither.
However, cinema comes in trends, so I can see it just not being in trend right now. And I feel like superhero movies and like Bourne Identity type movies and Mission Impossible kind of take that good stunt choreography or that good fighting choreography and use it in their film.
Yeah, after I asked the question, I was thinking that it's definitely that people are they incorporate the elements better now into their movies, or even like even though he was underutilized, a Rogue One situation, you get Donnie Yen in there and he does one cool scene, right? But there hasn't been like another movie like that I can think of.
Not that I can think of, but I don't. Apparently my memory is anyways.
Right.
But I feel like with like superhero movies, specifically like Winter Soldier, Civil War. Those are the ones that pop in my head right off the bat. There's some really good...
Winter Soldier's so good.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was just trying to think of other
I guess Captain
movies.
America movies?
Well, because his style is more like he has to actually fight as like a soldier.
Yeah, because like...
He doesn't fly.
Doctor Strange does his
whip stuff, yeah.
But...
His light whip foo.
Yeah.
his magic.
Cat's cradle magic.
Cradle magic, yeah. No, I was just, like I said, I was just trying to think of other films that I haven't mentioned that I would like to mention of note, but...
Okay, here's one. It's not a kung fu movie, but if you want some excellent fight scenes, you could always go rewatch some Kill Bill.
Well, sure. I mean, that's heavily inspired by everything we just talked about.
It's an homage.
Yeah.
But, like, her fight scene, the very first fight scene in the movie where she fights...
The Book of A Fox?
Yeah. Is great.
Yeah. It's super intense, dude.
That's the best way to start a movie.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's so intense, right? Yeah. And, like, her fight scene with... Why can't I remember... With Eye Patch L...
Daryl
Hannah?
Yeah.
In the...
Second one
when they're fighting in the trailer. Yeah. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then obviously, like... When she's fighting the
Crazy 88.
Crazy 88.
Yeah.
Right. When she
the whole half an hour.
Literally 88 people.
The whole half an hour of just blood.
Oh my god. Oh, and that's right after she fights Go-Go, which is like Go-Go, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's just go watch...
Tarantino movies?
Let's just go watch movies from 2005, I guess.
I mean, people always thought, oh, like cinema is trash or this or that. Every year has its standouts. And,
yeah.
When there's a good chunk of movies, people just remember that. They're like, oh man, that was so golden. It was like, well, there were other movies that sucked.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I don't know if it was just because it was like my early 20s, but like Kill Bill's amazing though. Kill Bill 2, Kung Fu Hustle, they all kind of came out within like the same 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And they were all, that's also when it was basically like Lord of the Rings and then Kill Bill, and like those are all like favorites of mine. So I don't know if it was just because that's where my brain was developmentally or what was going on, but I love those movies.
Fair enough. But yeah, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, check them out. Good stuff if you haven't seen them. They have a deep catalog to go to. Yeah. Like I said, I've just been catching up on my Jet Li, and I think I've only watched like 7 movies of his.
If you like watching people fight well, you can double time it during the dialogue. Normal speed it through.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then so it's hilarious because especially the older films, where like they don't make movies like that now, where again there's literally like a half an hour long fight scene. And it's just like it's literally just a half an hour long fight scene, and then they're like, oh man, they kind of rest up for a little bit, there's a little bit of talk, and then it's just blam, another 20-minute fight scene, and you're just like, holy jeez.
There is one more fight scene I want to talk about from a movie I can't remember. There is a Donnie Yen movie where he's not the star. He does a fight scene in an alley.
Right, you were mentioning this before, yeah.
And they didn't choreograph it. They just fought.
Right.
They knew who the winner was supposed to be, and they just filmed them fighting. And it is so good that you should just find that clip based off no information that I've given you and watch it.
Use your Google Foo.
Yeah.
And find this movie clip.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wrap it up?
Sure.
So you can find us at tomeofuselessness.com. We're on iTunes and all the other podcast things. If you want to rate and review us, you can.
Please do.
And we're on Instagram, Tome of Uselessness. And we will talk to you next week, or no, in 2 weeks when we're going to review Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Now we have to.
Oh,
you're suckered in, Dan.
Or I can just cut it out.
More Harry Potter content coming at ya.
Right, fair enough.
Let's listen to Devin talk about how much she hates Ron for an hour.
No, we already did that episode.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.